Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a discussion of the Whitin Cross-Trainers, which are these shoes right here. I've had these for about 3 years and my original pair finally wore through where I needed to get a replacement. And so what we'll do in this video is we'll first discuss my old pair of shoes, how they wore, and the general use that I had for these shoes over the past 3 years. And then we'll do an unboxing and review of the gray version of these shoes, which you can get on Amazon. Currently, I just checked the price online and you can get either pair of these for about $42, so it's a cheap, affordable, minimalist shoe, and I highly recommend it based on my past experience. So definitely check out the links below if you're interested in purchasing it. Otherwise, we'll get started with this video. Okay, so these are the Whitin Cross-Trainers in the black color. I originally bought these about 3 years ago when I was looking for an alternative barefoot or minimalist shoe compared to my prior Merrells and Five Fingers. I ultimately bought these as well as the Engineer minimalist shoes, and I've done previous videos discussing these as well as the Engineer shoes, so you can definitely check out those videos. But more recently, these shoes finally wore through the sole of the foot, and so I wanted to get a replacement because I really like these shoes a lot. Currently, you can get these on Amazon for $42. There's a wide variety of color options and different kind of styles and things like that, but this is the Cross-Trainer version. When you go on their website, there's going to be this version as well as a different version that's kind of a lace-up system with like rubber along the side. I've never used the other version, so I can't speak to those, but really we'll just go over the general features of these shoes and how I've used them in the past. So this is a minimalist shoe, kind of minimalist slash barefoot, I would describe it. Really how it is set up is there's going to be a cloth upper here that's really just this cloth mesh design. There's a little bit of a vinyl here as far as style and design here, where it's got this like kind of like weird design pattern here, which is in gold, and then the rest of it, at least in the black color, is this mixed like black and gray color that's like similar to a camouflage style. So this is what it looks like as far as the side, the top, and the side here, as well as the heel. So generally that's kind of what it looks like. As far as the lace or the wear and tear on the top, there's been absolutely no wear or tear. There's no holes or anything like that from routine use with this, which is a really nice and surprising thing to see after 3 years. Essentially both of these shoes look practically brand new from the top and the lace setup, which is really cool that it's lasted that well for so long. As far as the lace setup, it's not really traditional laces. What it has is this drawstring method. So it's this drawstring that you can kind of tighten and not tighten using this method, so there's a little clasp there, and then there's a Velcro piece right on top of the toe area where you can just put the Velcro right there so that it's not the lace kind of setup isn't flopping around. This occasionally got loose when you're working out or something like that, and you just kind of have to press it up against that area, but I've not really had too many issues with that. Personally, I don't mind the drawstring method for laces. What I found personally from use and over time was that the shoe in general loosened up over time, where I found that I had to tighten this up much more. So if you look at this, it's kind of tightened all the way. So with these shoes, they will loosen with regular routine use, and I found that the drawstring kind of, you have to tighten up as you go. In general though, if you compare these to like the Engineer shoes, there's a version of the Engineer shoes that have a similar drawstring type method. However, their lace setup that at least comes with the shoes is an elastic lace, so this doesn't have any elasticity to it. So the nice part about that is when you pull this tight, it's not compressing or putting too much elastic tension on your foot. So what I found with the Engineer version of those, where it had elastic, was when you tighten it up, it would compress the arch of your foot too much, and it'd be uncomfortable and too tight for your foot. So ultimately for those shoes, I cut the laces and switched them out to classic laces, and it fixed that problem. But that's one nice feature about this shoe compared to the Engineers. And then there is a toe kind of, or I guess toe, I don't know, toe thing here that has some foam, and that's comfortable there. As far as the insole, it has this foam insole, so this is what comes in the shoe. So this is after 3 years of use. So it's held up pretty well. It does have some sponginess, and it is a foam here, which lasted basically the whole length of the shoe time period. The only issue is that eventually I wore through the heel and it actually started wearing through the insole as well. Online you can actually replace these insoles. They offer them separately with these shoes, so if you ever want to replace them you can do so, but I personally did not need to do that. So that's that. And then in general, so the bottom of the sole is an interesting design or so. So people kind of always ask whether this is a zero drop shoe. I don't really necessarily know, but from what I can tell, it does look like zero drop. So there's no elevation across like the front compared to the back. The biggest area where there is an elevation here is kind of in the arch support here. So if you look inside the shoe here, there is support from the insole as well as this area where the rubber is a little bit thicker. And so the bottom sole has a treaded design across the whole entire bottom. It's really pretty much flat the whole way. And this area in the arch is kind of built up to support your arch area, and it flattens this area. The major, so I personally have used these shoes kind of as a kind of combination of running and cross training. When I first got these shoes, I used it for running exclusively. They were a great option. The nice part about them was they were tight to my foot, and the sole being a little bit thicker, it did add some protection compared to other shoes, and it was very comfortable. However, once I wore through or broke these shoes in, what I found was this mesh upper was a little bit too loose where my foot would slide too much when I was running either forward or backward, and I didn't have as much like reaction time with it. And so I transitioned to using these in the gym where I was weightlifting, so doing like squats, deadlifts, everything like that, and they were phenomenal for that. However, for running, I found that like just after you break them in, they just don't work as well compared to different options, so I don't really use them for running. So I initially used them for running, I switched over to weightlifting, then eventually what happened was COVID happened and my gym closed, so at that point I switched to just using these for walking, and kind of for the past year or so I just use them for walking my dog outside. And so what you'll notice is over the past year I wore through entirely the heel here, just based on my gait pattern, and it actually happened on both shoes. That's the nature of just how I walk and things like that. A lot of people criticize the fact that I heel strike and stuff, but to be honest, I don't have any injuries or anything, so it is what it is. And then in regards to feedback as far as general like barefoot and minimalist shoes related to Whitins, I'll say that these soles compared to like the Vibram 5 Fingers or the Aura Engineer shoes are a little bit too thick. What you find is that this thickness doesn't have as much tactile feel and groundedness compared to the other shoes. So I personally don't like them as much for running for that purpose. But they're a great all-around shoe for cross training, weightlifting, hiking, walking, anything like that. They last very well, so as you can tell, really the only damage to this entire shoe is the heel. The lace system has worked really well, the mesh upper has held really well. I mean, to be honest, they aren't even dirty, like, and I've used these for 3 years all the time, and I actually have never washed these at all either. So so that's kind of the old pair of Whitins. What we'll do now is we'll just open up the new box and we'll take a look at the new version. The new version of Whitins that I got is the gray version, so you can check out their website. It's going to be the gray and teal model. Okay, so here's the box for the new pair of Whitins that I purchased. Interestingly, when I first got the original Whitins, it came in like this vacuum packed Ziploc bag with the shoes inside, which was kind of weird, but it looks like over the years they've transitioned to using a box, and it's kind of a nice feature. So this is what comes in the box. It's actually a non-labeled box. There's no markings on the box. There's no labeling as far as the shoe or anything like that. And so it's just a basic box, but it is a step up compared to their vacuum packaging. And so we'll take these shoes out. There's nothing else in the box as far as that, so we'll get it to the side. But this is the gray version of the Whitins in the brand new model. So virtually they are identical as far as their construction and design. It's just the coloring is a little bit different. So this is what they look like new. So it's got like a solid gray color on the top. It does have that same similar pattern that you saw on the other one, which rather than gold, it's this kind of teal green color. And that's kind of what they look like brand new. Virtually identical otherwise. There's no major changes over the past 3 years. The construction is very similar. So looking out of the box, it's basically The toe design is the same, the foam's the same. You have this drawstring here. It's no change in the elasticity here, so it's a drawstring method. And you have the Velcro here, right here, so you can always put the lace down like that. Okay, and then on the construction, overall construction is very similar. It's this mesh design on the top here, and then the sole, it has not changed at all as far as the pattern and layout. So this is what it looks like straight out of the box. So this is kind of the flat design there. It definitely has thicker rubber here, which I personally don't like as much for running. You can feel that like it just pushes against your foot too much, versus like the Engineers cuts this area out so that you have less space, so you have more flexibility in your foot. So that's one criticism here, is if they got rid of this part here, this area, this shoe overall would be more streamlined and feel better for when you're running and working out and things like that. But this is what they look like from kind of the soles side by side. All right, and this is from the side here, okay, and then this is from the other side. All right, and so that's what they look like. This is the gray and teal version. What I'll do now is I'll set up the camera so you can see them on my feet. Actually, what I'll do real quick as well is I'll just throw these side by side with the old one, just so you can get a comparison of the color scheme and things like that. Hopefully you can see this on camera. So this is the gray one, this is the black version. I actually like the black color a lot. I probably would have purchased it again. I just decided to pick this one just because I wanted to change it up. But I picked this color just because it's a little less bright compared to alternatives. But this black version is a great option. This one's a great option. It'll work with anything you wear and things like that. So I'll throw these on just to give you a general sense of how they feel and how they look, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we'll just throw these on. So when you first put these on, make sure you loosen the drawstring all the way. One thing I did not mention was that this is what the insole looks like when you first get it. So that's what it looks like brand new. It has the labeling on it. It does come in European sizes. So this is a 43, which is equivalent of a size 10. I forgot to speak about sizing, but for the sizing, I usually wear 10.5. For this, there's either 10 or 11. I would optimize or recommend picking a smaller size, especially based on my personal experience with these shoes where they loosen up over time. So you do want initially to have a tighter feel. The main thing is making sure that your toes aren't too tight in the front. However, with these types of shoes, you do want a general tighter fit for your shoe, fit for your running purposes, because it will loosen up, and you want that like responsiveness as far as wearing it. So that's what it looks like as far as the insole. We'll just throw these on. So all you have to do is basically just tighten them up like this, very similar to other lace designs. And then this is kind of the setup for that shoe. And then we'll throw this one on. Sorry, it's hard to do on camera with this angle. There you go. And then we'll tighten this one up. So that, and that, and then we'll just give you a look of what it looks like. So this is from the side and the back, and then from the other side, and that's what the inside looks like, and then the other inside. Okay, and then this is what the sole looks like from the back there. Okay, as far as feeling comfort, they feel very, very comfortable. They basically feel like I could go work out with them right now. My toe is at the tip here, so it is snug, where if I went a size lower, I would definitely cram my toe against the front of the shoe, so I would not recommend going below like one size down from your typical size. And I anticipate these will loosen up over time. So these are very similar to the other model where they're tight across the foot entirely, but with routine use as far as running, working out, these will loosen up where the top is going to loosen, and you'll get too much motion with your foot when you're working out and things like that. So generally speaking, I love these shoes as far as running initially. They're great weight training, cross-training shoes. They're a great affordable option on Amazon. They cost about $42, so they're much more affordable compared to other shoes, and I absolutely love them over the past 3 years. So that's the general sense of it. If you want to check out my other videos on the Engineers, Whitins, as well as the Vibram 5 Fingers, definitely check that out. If you have questions, comments, post them below. I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, if you're interested in purchasing these, there will be Amazon links below. And please hit the like button if you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to follow more content. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.